Klen is the most powerful demon king who despises all of mankind. But as fate would have it, in his conquest to exterminate the human race, a mere baby melts his heart, and he ends up adopting the child as his own. Now, he must hide his true powers and pretend to be an ordinary loser to live in the human world. As the series starts, she follows her father to the farm, and after they are done, he calls her to follow him back home. She looks around the house. She looks at the map of Edzi and sees that right after the map, there are dark places. Very dark, just their continent and dark places. She wonders why. As a very curious girl, she looks at her father and asks, what is beyond their city? A question that her father himself cannot answer. He knows she is curious and indeed wants to give her an answer, but he can't. Why? Because he doesn't know too. He reveals to her that every human, just like her, was born curious. They wanted to know more. However, every attempt they have made to enter that dark place has ended in destruction. He tells her that in those dark places, there are 4 demons. These demons are guarding the west, east, north, and south of Edzi, and all the teams they have sent to try to find out what is beyond them have been annihilated, killed. She is shocked. Does this mean it is really bad? She wonders. This doesn't change anything for her. Her father tells her that until the demons are killed, there is no way they can find out what is going on there. Every problem should have a solution. What then is the solution to this one? He further explains to her that there are treasures that heroes use to fight. Only heroes who have these treasures, swords, can fight these demons, and until they find the hero, they cannot win. This gets her more excited. She wants to be a hero. She wants to fight. It is the sword of Haydn, and if she gets it, she can fight. And when they win, they can see the world beyond their map and know what is in the dark places. Several years pass by. Our Alicia is no longer a child. She is indeed part of the heroes that have been chosen. She closes her eyes and opens them in the truck that is driving them to the outskirts of the city. She holds the chain on her neck, telling her father that the time is here. The time is here to fight for her city. She isn't going on this trip alone. There are several other heroes who are on this trip too. As the journey goes on, they start a conversation and start introducing themselves. There are some notable people among them. Minal, whose treasure is Ogonkyo, who claims he doesn't know where he is from. They look at Alicia and ask her to introduce herself. They are shocked that there is a woman among them, and she doesn't bother to introduce herself at all. They get nearer to the outskirts, and another member, Stefan, whose treasure is Tenma, warns them that they are near. They whisper among themselves that he is the strongest there. Suddenly, the carrier stops, and the driver tells them that the carriage cannot go nearer to the place again. They all prepare to come down, but they haven't even landed when the demons start attacking them. Indeed, a few of them die from the carriage, and Stefan screams to all of them to come out and fight. They troop out, and he divides their squad into groups. The archers and the lancers get into action, and he tells the others that he will pair with Alicia to fight the leftover ones. And yes, Alicia has the Iwatubame's treasure. She joins Stefan, and they fight through. She is strong, charismatic, but what's more to note about her is that she is very conscious of her environment. On the mount in front of them is one of the demon lords. He speaks about the world of chaos. He admits that the world is born of chaos, but if that is true, then he is also born of chaos. He may be right. As the war continues, all the heroes jump through the mounts and hills until they get to the top of the mountain. Stefan, for one, is excited. He has been declared the most intelligent, and it is just fair he acts the name. He tells them that that day is the day they will be declared as strong people, and they must show the people that chose them that they are strong enough. As they reach Mount Moon, the Demon Lord comes out. He looks amazing, if that is the right word for it. His white fluffy skin, his look, it is terrifying. He is Clevetess of the Southern Moonlight. Stefan is pushed back. He admits that what is in front of him is terrifying. However, they are commissioned for this. They are backed up, they are heroes, and together they will make the legend come true. As he urges himself to fight, he is attacked by Clevetess from afar. Clevetess pushes him to the wall and kills him. Everyone is shocked because Clevetess didn't even come near them. One hero takes the initiative to lead and encourages others to fight. But Alicia takes her time to consider the environment. As the heroes get nearer to Clevetess, he kills them all without even leaving where he is standing. Alicia eventually realizes what has happened. She screams to the others that Clevetess is attacking them from his shadows. If they want to survive, they have to run away from his shadows. They wonder how they will do that, but Alicia starts jumping. She jumps through the mountain and runs. Indeed, the shadow gets nearer to her, and she is the first hero who sees the attack before it hits and fights it. Clevetess's eyes shine in shock. Maybe this will be more difficult than the adventurers he had fought earlier. He doesn't care, but it piques his interest. This is humanity, the human race. He hasn't been conversant with the human race for about 1,000 years, but from what he knew about them before, they are meant to be weak as insects. But what he is seeing right now, they have strength, they have a mission, they are determined. He doesn't know what they have that is making them this strong and determined, but for him to know what is pushing them, he has to find out. All the heroes fight against him, and he kills them all. Unfortunately, the last person that he kills is Alicia. She flies to the sky and closes her eyes to death. She apologizes to her father and tells him that she was unable to get her dream into reality. Well, not every dream comes true, and unfortunately, hers is one of the ones that wouldn't come true. At Capital Hydelart, the capital city of Hyden Kingdom, the people in the city go through their lives as usual without knowing that there is something coming against them. Unfortunately, Clevetess comes at them. He erupts from the mountain in front of the city, and everyone is scared. But Clevetess is just intrigued. He doesn't care for them. He just wants to know what they are up to. He recalls that the people that attacked his territory claimed they were heroes, and they were sent by the king of Hyden. So his plan is to fight through everyone around him and get to the king. The villagers are scared. They all start running away while the knights get into action. They bring their archers and attack him. He doesn't attack them in return. Instead, he flies through all the roofs so he can get himself to the palace and see what is their driving force. The knights increase the securities at the palace gate and send several arrows at him. However, they cannot even reach him. He looks at all their attacks and puts his mind at rest. They aren't as strong as he thought they were. They are still weak, and their attacks cannot do anything to him. He throws one of his hands at the wall, and somewhat alike to the wall of Jericho, the wall falls down. The knights realize that it is beyond their control, so one of them runs to inform the king that a demon has attacked them. The king doesn't look shocked. For a demon to attack them, it means just one thing. The heroes have failed. He stands up from his seat and walks. He has just one thing to protect, which is the Blade of Hyden, Mana Hydelart. Another knight comes to tell him that a demon is in the city and it is unstoppable, so the king has to hide. Indeed, if the demon is unstoppable, then there is no reason why he should run, because no matter how far he runs, the demon will always get to him. The knights keep doing their thing and sending fires and arrows against Clevetess. He knows that nothing they do will affect him, but it is strong. He recalls the sword that Alicia had used to attack him and how it affected him a little bit. It means if humans are left alone, they can get stronger and attack him. He doesn't get nearer to the human territory, but they want his territory, which is enough reason for him to attack them. The king goes nearer to the door to protect the blade, but as he opens it, Clevetess comes out. Judging by the accessories and everything around him, Clevetess doesn't need any more information to convince him that he is the king. He affirms that the man is the king and speaks in the human language, which gets the king shocked. He says that a demon isn't meant to speak human language and asks how Clevetess could speak in their language. The king recognizes who Clevetess is, but Clevetess tells him that he is the only one who has the ability to save humanity. He only has a few questions to ask, and the answers that the king gives to those questions will determine if all humanity will be destroyed or saved. By all humanity, he doesn't mean just the people of Hyden, but also the people of Dawn, Org, Surada, and Bent. His question is quite simple. Who are they? What is their character? What is their driving force? And why are they attacking the demon kingdom? The king doesn't see a reason to give an account to a demon. He says he won't answer those questions, and Clevetess doesn't even ask a second time before he cuts off his head. Cleovates walks away from there, assuming that humans are threats to him, so he must destroy them. He says that for him to destroy the entire humanity, he needs a team to work with. He has to take his time to build one. As he walks away, a baby with a dying mother cries loudly. The mother holds him with her last strength, and Cleovates hears his cry and walks nearer to him. Seeing it's a human baby, he barely cares. However, the mother speaks to him. She begs him to please save the child. That gets him shocked. Can't she see who she is begging? She is begging the real source of their issue. He reminds her that he is out to destroy humanity, and if she wants someone to blame for the child's death, she should blame the child for being born as human. The dying woman speaks in her defense. She insists that a child doesn't have an opportunity to choose what he wants to be born as. He doesn't care. He, however, tells her that if she wants him to save the child, she should prove to him why he should. She reminds him that she is dying. She can't prove to him that he is worth it. However, she is sure the child will prove his worth when he is old. With this, she gives up the ghost. He picks up the child. He isn't convinced, but since she claims the child will prove his worth, it doesn't take him so much time to watch a human grow. So he will watch and see what the child grows to be. Meanwhile, in this massive kingdom, there are 5 human races in this world made up of Duns, who have the highest numbers, the Orgites, who are very brave with horns on their heads. Next are the Sladens, who are basically introverts and don't like talking with the other races. Next, the Benti, who look a lot like demonic bandits, but are really powerful. Finally, the Hydaneans, who look a lot like humans and are the smallest of all races. As expected, they are also the wisest race with the capabilities to make weapons from arcanocite. However, the royal family are the only ones with the secret technique to do this. Since their wisdom is all they have to offer, they have been selling these weapons to the Dun race. These transactions have gone on to cause the 2 races to embark on some plot development adventures together, giving rise to mixed breeds. Even with this, there are a very few pure Hydaneans. Outside the massive kingdom which these races inhabit, there exist wild-looking dark beasts, with 9 tails like Kurama in Naruto. Meanwhile, somewhere in the depths of the Luna Mountains, the 9-tailed massive beast, Cleovates, fends off some smaller beasts who were just about to devour the baby. Scared, the baby starts crying, and Cleovates is worried that the baby would soon hit its expiry date. He wraps himself around it and wonders what he could do to silence this loud mouth. Briefly, he places the tip of one of his nails on the baby's head, and it falls asleep. While looking at the baby, Cleovates imagines that it would soon drop a poop bomb. As expected, shortly after, the baby wakes up and starts crying again. This pisses him off, but he carries the baby away to find a solution. The only solution he could find is to throw the baby in a pit. Calm down. It's not the kind of pit you're thinking about. It's just one filled with bugs. Well, not the harmful kind of bugs, but the ones who feed on poop. While the bugs enjoy their dinner, Cleovates reveals his dumb belief that humans grow up in a few nights. He is reminded of where he had found the child, and is completely clueless as to who the child is. He blames his good heart for turning around to pick up the child, but enough regrets. What would he do with the child? Fortunately, his pride as the Lord of Dark Beasts makes him not consider returning the child, and is determined to raise the child. However, he can't do this alone since the child has got to feed and he has no knowledge of how humans operate. Looking at the lifeless bodies he had just acquired, he picks out a woman named Alicia to bring back to life. Apparently, her father had been killed by dark beasts, and in a misguided passion for revenge, she led an army to attack the Lord of Dark Beasts. This only ended in tears. However, she fortunately has a second chance at life. Upon her resurrection, she tries to attack Cleovates but realizes that her sword and all the bodies of her comrades have been thrown away. He proudly claims that he had revived her with his dark powers, which makes her nothing but a walking dead. She seems like a good-looking zombie. After receiving this information, she is dumbfounded. With her mouth wide open, She wonders how he can speak human language so fluently, but is somewhat pleased to be the only survivor. Not exactly. Just then, Clevetess orders her to reveal her oranges. Hearing this, she thinks so highly of herself and is appalled by the Lord of Dark Beasts' advances. However, before her naughty thoughts could get wild any further, he informs her about the hungry baby and orders her to take off her armor and bring out her oranges immediately. Since he had infused some dark magic in her, she had no choice but to reveal the oranges. Slowly, she grudgingly pulls her top up and eventually does as she has been ordered. After reluctantly doing so, he is shocked to find out that she has no milk. This is very much expected from the baddie with no workout experience. Just so he knows, she educates Clevetess on the need for a woman to have given birth before she can have milk. The shame of showing off her oranges makes her feel very embarrassed, and she begs him to kill her, but he ignores her pleas. While the two go back and forth, the baby starts crying again. Instead of finding a solution, the two engage in useless chatter on how he found the human baby. Tired of these small talks, Clevetess insists that she comes up with a solution for the child's hunger. Even though she has no idea on raising a child, she is forced to reveal that he would need a woman with milk to feed the child. Now the question arises, how would they get one? In answer to that, Alicia reveals that they would have to hire one, but would need some money to do so. Being so broke, Clevetess doesn't have any cash, but with the abundance of arcanocite in the cave, they could rake in a lot of cash. Elon Musk would need to take some notes. While he ponders on this option, Alicia considers attacking him, but since she wasn't with her sword, he had no choice but to remain still. After a brief moment of contemplating, Clevetess agrees that they get someone with milk to feed the baby. He is about to step out when she informs him that it is impossible to go into the town in his current form. Looking at how large he is, he would end up scaring everyone they come across. After first, he offers to take the baby into town herself and find a mother for it. However, Clevetess doesn't consider this option, since he doesn't want the baby to go out of his sight. Instead, he transforms into a human boy. As much as his disguise seemed convincing, his 9 tails still kept on wagging behind him. With a little horn in his head, he ends up retracting the tails into a shadowy opening underneath him. Even with this, the horn remains visible, but he doesn't seem to have an idea about it, and Alicia decides to keep her mouth shut. Before heading out, he thinks of a name for himself and the child, and comes up with Clen for himself and Luna for the child. Only at that moment does he seek to know Alicia's name, and she reveals it to him. After that, they head out to a small river. On arrival, Alicia assumes responsibility of bathing the child. While doing so, he gets interrupted by Clen, but continues, only to be rewarded with some pee on her face. Clen basically criticizes everything she does like an annoying mother-in-law. From how she cleans the child, to how she wraps himself up and specifying places she should focus on while cleaning him up. After cleaning up the child, he is very excited. However, Clen believes that the poop-eating bugs did a better job at cleaning than Alicia. The two arrive at Alicia's camp and find it empty. However, she reveals that they had kept all their valuables somewhere else. Before they proceed to that place, Clen orders her to have her bath, since she reeked like a contestant aiming for the Guinness World Record for the longest day with having a bath. Also, he hands her the clothes used to wrap the child to wash, and while doing so, she discovers that it has the crest of the Hydanian royal family. Immediately, she figures out that this child is royalty. Meanwhile, in the rumbles of the castle, a soldier comes running to find any survivors, but is baffled by the sight of how much damage the Dark Lord had done. The sight of this reminds him of the Crown Princess's plan to flee the kingdom with her child before the havoc. He blames the king's madness for the kingdom's destruction, but hopes to find at least one survivor. On the other hand, General Drell and some of his men look upon what remains of the Hydanian's kingdom. He orders one of his men to inform the emperor about this, warning that if they don't act fast to take the Hydanian land, another race will. His main reason for wanting them to take Hydan is the secret of arcanocite crafting, which only the Hydanian royal family knows. So, while he returns to rally his soldiers, He instructs his second-in-command, Maynard, to search for any survivors with royal blood and make sure to bring them to him. Elsewhere, Alicia confronts Clem with the crested cloth and accuses him of kidnapping a child with royal blood. Hearing her say this, Clem is as surprised as he is shocked. He reveals that he had been entrusted with the child by someone who has the exact human form he has chosen. Even though Alicia strongly believes that he is lying, he shuts her nagging mouth up and reveals that he had killed the king for attacking him first. However, he expects that a lot of people would be looking for the child to get the secret for crafting arcanocite. Pleased at the revelation of the royal child, he is determined to make the child king in hopes that he would get to dictate how things happen from the shadows. The fact that he regards the child as his servant scares Alicia, who watches in fear. Hearing him say this, Alicia wonders if she hasn't made things worse by revealing the child's true identity. Meanwhile, Clem asks that they hurry up with finding a woman with milk in order to fill up the child's belly. While they leave, Alicia tries to calm herself with the thought that it would be impossible for humans to accept Clem with the horn on his head. However, she forgets the fact that Orgites have similar horns that could make Clem acceptable, although she strongly believes that the humans would figure him out and destroy his plans before it even starts. On the other hand, she has come to realize how obsessed Clem is with Luna and believes that Luna's death or disappearance could spell doom for the entire human race. With this in mind, she makes it her new point of duty to make sure no harm comes to Luna. On their way, some bandits attack and hit Clem on the head. First, when Alicia realizes that they are just bandits, he assumes that they would be easy prey for the powerful Lord of Dark Beasts. Unfortunately, Clem falls to the ground after getting hit and even starts bleeding profusely. Watching this happen, Alicia screams like a little girl and ends up getting hit at the back of her head, causing her to pass out. She is shocked that even with Clevetess's dark power in her, she is this weak. A while after, Alicia awakens with a view that seems like she is surrounded by her soldiers on their way to attack Clevetess. Before she gets comfortable in Disneyland, Clem orders the Fool to wake up. At that moment, she wakes up to the reality of them being captured by the bandits, but Clem reveals this with a smile on his face. If you liked this recap, do let me know in the comments, and obviously leave your likes too. Do not forget to share with your friends and subscribe. Above all, activate your notification bell so you don't miss the next recap when it drops. Until next time, do take care and stay safe.